Welcome to PrinnyCast Roundtable, a casual weekly show where we talk about what we've been up to and all the various gaming-related stuff that's happened over this last week. We're your hosts. I'm Chris. This is Grover.
Hello.
This is Mike.
Hello.
And Etna's directing us through text messages on there. And this is going to be kind of a short episode, I have a feeling, because our games that we played this week are probably going to be extremely few. Or am I wrong? Well, yeah. Both of them are multitasking their preferred games at the moment. Of course, somebody's waiting. Why don't you tell us about that, Mike?
Oh, Blizzard. Blizzard, what have you done?
The same thing that always happens every time they launch a new expansion.
It's actually not anywhere near this bad for the past few years. I haven't seen these kinds of queues and these kinds of problems with the actual game once you get in since the Burning Crusade. No launch has ever been perfect, but they've been a lot better since then, and they've taken a step back. They have regressed, trying to push this thing out when it's not really ready, to a point where you get stuck in queue, and then while you're in queue, you're going to get disconnected and have to start all over. I anticipate that at this rate, I'll be level 100 in approximately 2 weeks. That's
supposed to sound like a long time, but
it is.
For
considering
MMO, it didn't used to be. That used to be 6 months worth of work, but
Well, when Miss Pandaria came out,
I
rolled a monk, and I got that monk from level 1 to level 90, which was maximum level, in just 1 week.
That was one of my favorite moments of the show. Was Mike was rolling pandas.
Yeah.
I giggled so hard at that.
Dolphin.
Yeah, we're weird, folks. Welcome to the show, by the way.
My hand is a
Very
dolphin.
weird.
But in Blizzard's defense, they did have a denials of service attack, apparently, in the middle of this.
They did.
I haven't heard a lot about it, but it seems like they're very certain that's what happened.
I don't know. It seems odd, but not at the same time. What they've done is they've restricted the amount of people that can log on at once, which is why queues are so high.
They'll get it ironed out eventually, I think.
A week. Nobody will even remember.
It'll probably be a couple months before everything is fixed. I mean, the game will be playable, but it won't be working as intended, quite fully. Like I said, they rushed this out because they had promised that we wouldn't be in Siege of Orgrimmar for a year like we were in Icecrown Citadel. And they were right. We were in there for a lot longer than that.
It's hard to make promises.
It is. Shouldn't do it.
Especially Blizzard. They're always late on stuff, but that's one of the reasons why they've always had quality up until the last 3 projects that they've had.
Yeah.
I don't know, they kind of fixed Diablo a little bit.
It actually is a lot more fun to play. I was halfway considering just abandoning WoW until they get their crap together and playing Diablo, but then I thought, well, if I'm just going to abandon a Blizzard game because they're not doing something they should be doing, I shouldn't go to another Blizzard game.
And while we're on the subject, is Overwatch what you think that the Project Titan kind of evolved from? That side project they were using the assets for?
Yes and no. The question was asked on the Overwatch panel. Somebody asked the question, they knew that it wasn't Project Titan.
Yeah.
But since it came out, as we learned that Project Titan had been canceled, people were wondering how much of this project was from Titan. And Metzen said that there was a little bit, but not much. But I am excited for Overwatch. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like League of Legends meets Team Fortress. Because you've got your heroes that all have different, abilities, and they all have an ultimate ability of some kind. But then you've got your, Team Fortress style gameplay. So it looks like fun.
Yeah, I think I'll enjoy it too.
But was there anything else that you managed to play in all that time?
Well, I'm gonna say Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Yes, that came out this week, didn't it?
It did.
Kind of out of nowhere. Did it even advertise?
I was not expecting it. Well, yeah, it's been being advertised.
I saw the trailer for it 2 weeks ago, but
I wasn't expecting it to come out as early as it did. I went ahead and bought it because I had it in my head for some reason that I actually was going to be able to play this one. And I played it for, a few minutes. I didn't make it out of night 1. There's a lot more going on in this game than there was in the original, and I mean a lot.
I think it needed it for the replay value.
Yeah, I think all of the new stuff that was added is really cool. I think losing the doors and making the flashlight sort of a weapon, that's pretty cool too.
And this, just for everybody that might be coming in late on this is the game that's basically a horror version of Night Security for a Chuck E. Cheese type of place, and the animatronics come to life and think you're one of them and without a suit, and so they try to stick you inside one and kill you.
It's actually really good, really interesting, which is what got me hooked to it in the first place. All the little extra stuff that you can find in the game. But anyways, so in that game, the main thing was that Bonnie would always come through the left door, Chica would always go through the right door, Foxy would always come out of the curtain if you don't watch it, and Freddy was kind of, random. He always came to the right. He always came, yeah.
He always came a little bit like Batman.
He always came through the right door, but only if you looked looked at the camera while the right door was open. So your main strategy for later games was you checked your lights to see if the animatronics were there, and if they were, you closed the door, and you could continue flashing the light until its shadow went away, and then you could open up the door again. And you would always check Pirate's Cove to keep Foxy at bay, and that was pretty much it. You'd look at the camera to check Pirate's Cove, but every time you did that, you had to close the right door, or Freddy would get in the room and get you.
Wow.
So really not a whole lot. It's a definite rhythm that you have to get into, and it's very easy to do something wrong that will get you killed on the hardest game setting. In the new one, there's like a lot of different things going on at once, because you've got your original animatronics, and then you have their newer versions. They've all received like updates, but the old animatronics are in the same building. And then there's a couple, I think there's a total of 4 or 5 completely new ones. So
that's a lot of new creatures. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think it's 4. I think it's 3, because I was counting Mangle, and I think Mangle is just a recreation of Foxy. So you've got 8. Then you've got Balloon Boy, which is new to the series. You've got the Marionette, which is new, and you've got what was the other one? The regular Endoskeleton. Just regular Endoskeleton. He's new. And then there's a couple of ones that I've never seen in gameplay, but I've heard rumors and stuff, people saying they've seen them, on, how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Maybe or may not be true.
Right. So if those 2 do actually exist in the game, then it puts the total of new ones to 5.
Brian's in there.
Yeah.
Ermac's in there.
You're blind.
Ermax. Number of Ermax. But anyways, it's just really, really hectic. Like the first game was hectic in the harder difficulties. This one is hectic on night 1.
They had to step it up.
Yeah, it's pretty good though. I mean, if you like horror games and you don't mind the jump scare, it's pretty fun. I just have trouble with jump scares because I don't like being startled. It's really difficult to startle me, but if you pop something in my face and make a really loud shrieking, like a banshee noise, it's gonna get me.
I like all those internet memes.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that and the normal Smash Brothers, that's about all I've really been playing.
How about you, Grover?
Well, I played some Clash of Clans. Not really much going on. It's kind of like back your monitor where it gets to the point where upgrading stuff takes so long that you just turn the upgrade on, you walk away. And that's, other than Clan Wars, that's I've been doing, is turning on an upgrade and then coming back a couple hours later and screwing with it for like 5 minutes and then disappearing from it again. Well, as people that watch the channel know, I started doing videos again, another Minecraft series. And
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm actually playing Minecraft now as we're doing this because I has to keep up. But the new die roll pack, tons of new stuff. I actually started playing it without watching him because I wanted to surprise myself. And last night when I was uploading something, I got bored and watched Direwolf play and kind of sat there just like, oh goody, see, he's doing things completely different the way I'm doing, which is good. I don't want to copy every little thing he does, which I was worried about. Like, exactly why I didn't watch him, because I don't want to do all that. And that has literally been all I've been playing. I was going to play WoW, but then I tried to log in when the new expansion pack came out, and it said that my queue was about 700, and I just logged right back out. I was like, okay, never mind. More Minecraft, and yeah, there's really not much to say about that. If you really want to see what I've been playing, you can literally go to the channel and watch, which annoys me because apparently I posted it on a Raptor and they really like it. In fact, I've got about 700 views on a Raptor,
Very nice.
But it doesn't register on YouTube, which is just like, that's sad to me.
Well, still, that's 700 people. Well, 700 views that it's at least getting somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as there's people,
someone's watching it.
Someone is watching it. That's all that matters.
The only reason I even remotely care, because if those aren't on YouTube, then we don't get noticed. Like if we got 700 views in one day like that, that would the search engine would direct people towards us more. So that's why I was kind of aggravated by that.
Yeah, it's kind of like this situation with that guy with the glasses website, where we're getting between 20 and 100 views on that thing, and it doesn't seem to be showing up. But just as long as people's watching it and enjoying it, I don't really care where.
Yeah.
It would be nice if they came back and
YouTube,
subscribed, but
like if you're listening to this right now and you're not on YouTube, don't feel that we're insulting you. We're definitely not. We're glad you're watching, even if you're not on YouTube.
It makes it harder for them to comment back, though, and we do like.
Yeah, well, it's just like with my old videos on the other channel too. I have to keep an eye on Raptor now because I found out long after I abandoned the channel that people were commenting to me on Raptor, and I didn't even know. And I had literally about 150 messages on Raptor, so I was just like, oh no, and these people had to think I was ignoring them. So that was slightly upsetting, but yeah, that's about it.
Well, I don't have much to say myself because because, as I mentioned last week, I have my company from Oregon visiting me, and between weather and other circumstances, she's actually going to be with me for another week. So she'll be going home by next Friday. So we may not have a cast next week because I may not be back in time, but I think I will. It's an afternoon flight. But besides that, I have gotten a little Tynan and a little Congregate. Actually, just really Infernal Legend off of Congregate. Nothing else has really been played because I'm about 6 games behind trying out, and some of them actually look like they might be entertaining. There's kind of an Advanced War zombie-looking game on there. And I used to really dig those kind of games, like Desert Commander way back in the day, Conflict, for the people that remember the old NES days of those strategy games, long before Fire Emblem or Shining Force. Was that?
I remember Ogre Battle.
Yep.
I love that game.
So, and there was a King's Bounty knockoff on there that I did play, which was actually probably better than the original King's Bounty, but I still forced myself too far too fast and ran into a castle before I was prepared. I never went back to it after that. Because if I'm going to play a King's Bounty game, I'm going to play the newer 3D King's Bounty games that I've got on Steam right now. And I was really having a blast and almost beat the first one. I have 3 expansion packs? 3. But, yeah, the only other thing I've even touched, and technically I haven't, is Second Life. And the majority of that is actually me watching Dana go through the marketplace and find stuff to build a house. So technically I didn't really play it. I watched somebody else play it. So that might as well be considered, I was watching a streamer this week.
It was a Let's Play.
But it was live, so I'll count it anyway. And yeah, those 3. There you go. There's my gaming. Oh, and a retraction/confirmation from last week. As I kind of expected, and I probably shouldn't have mentioned it because of it, the Nick Denton of Gawker thing about him bragging on Facebook about hiring people to infiltrate Gamergate and all that type of stuff, that was actually a fabricated story. I had a feeling, but I don't know. I'm looking for any evidence to prove how awful these people are, and I guess I jumped a little too early on that one. So, yes, retraction on that particular story. They're still awful people, and it's kind of being proved that way by the way they keep talking about people, and thankfully the advertisers are noticing this, and they just keep pulling away. So
yeah, Gawker can go to hell.
And similar note, Ubisoft's kind of had a rough year between that whole Watch Dogs graphics debacle that they had at the earlier part of the year, and then that whole E3 nonsense with the lack of female characters in Assassin's Creed Unity, which was only made worse by their very awkward responses. But, Assassin's Creed Unity's launch is apparently one of the bigger debacles. I used that word twice, but debacles right up there with, like, SimCity from the sounds of it. Because between the company's tight reins on the review wordings, which is seeming to be a very common thing lately, Bayonetta 2 had some weird stuff going on. One of the Square games, I can't remember which one it was, had something very similar to that. And people are kind of getting a little nervous that this is going to be a thing again. Though, when the reviewers are basically lying to us 9 times out of 10 anyway, does it really matter at this point?
Yeah, they seem to always lie to me, so it doesn't matter. They've been lying since 2005, at least.
But yeah, between the review issues and the performance issues apparently with the game, there's a whole bunch of bugs all over the place. And then there's this whole thing about a ridiculous level. I mean, we're talking like Facebook level of microtransactions in the game that was hidden away for the most part. So it just reeked of money grubbing and rushed game making. And this is something that might kill the Assassin's Creed franchise if they keep this up. Maybe it'll survive this one, but if it continues, it does remind me a little bit of last year's Call of Duty, because that was very similar too, and Battlefield. So I guess all the big companies are really doing stupid stuff. Yay. And speaking of stuff coming out, Final Fantasy 13-2 is heading to the PC on December 11th for $20. So yes, the entire trilogy will indeed be coming to PC. The next part's supposed to be in 2015. I'm glad to see all these console games starting to leak their way back to the PC, like Valkyria Chronicles and stuff. I would love to see more of the Japanese games like that too. You see that a lot with the American games right off the bat. A lot of times they'll multi-release on everything. You don't see that very often with the Japanese games, but with Square doing this and Sega doing theirs, I wish Atlas would get on them. So maybe I can get some PC Disgaea going on. I know Grover wouldn't mind that either.
They put this guy on the PC and that's going to be my Let's Play for a year.
You get those JRPGs and the kind of obscure fighting games on the PC, and I won't need to go back and get me a PS3 anymore. So
you could just get a 3DS and buy Disgaea DS.
Yeah, but there was a lot of stuff on the PS3, a lot of JRPGs you can't get anywhere else.
That's true.
Not that I'm sure some of them were exactly that good. I'm still not sure about Hyperdimension Neptunia sometimes. I love the premise, but the game looks kind of awful.
I still want to play it anyway.
Nobuo Uematsu did the music, man. I know it's not as epic stuff, but still.
You know a game that I don't think I would buy the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 if they released on PC? The Gran Turismo series. If they released them on PC, that would be glorious, but they would never never would do it, ever.
Yeah, somebody would have to actually buy the studio from Sony to do that.
Believe me, if I had the money, I would.
And speaking of buying studios, I actually I wrote this down on my notes, but on the wrong paper thing, the wrong notepad. So I had this for last week, but oops, it didn't get in the list that I was actually reading from. So the Second Life creators, Linden Labs, had bought Desura like a year ago, and Desura is that kind of Steam platform for indie games. And so now Linden Labs is selling it to Bad Juju Games, which is a group largely known for designing and handling online operational data for like lobbies and leaderboards and all that type of stuff for a lot of big titles like Call of Duty. So Bad Juju intends on keeping things running as normal, so Desura is not going to go anywhere, which is really good for a lot of these small developers who can't quite get themselves on Steam. The Steam Greenlight's a great system, but not everybody's going to get through that. Meanwhile, Linden, this is really backtracking because they made this announcement like back in July, but they are focusing on the next generation of their Second Life stuff. So I don't know what that means for the old Second Life. I may have put all this money in on a stupid game that's only going to last another 2 years.
Second Life 2.
The seconding. But yeah, it's been an interesting week, even if it's not been much of a gaming week for me personally. And next week may kind of end up being the same thing, but and Mike's going to finally be on Warlords of Draenor.
Maybe.
Eventually. Surely by next Wednesday. And then, that weekend, you'll also have the Wii U version of Smash Brothers. Don't necessarily expect this next week, but Grover's at least going to have you some more Minecraft for a while. I don't know if he's going to be going at like the Steam engine he is right now, but
every day
he seems to be
for
checking
a while,
out.
at least, yeah.
And I'll try to get another printing place up over the next weekend if nothing
It may not
else.
always be Minecraft.
Oh, you don't mind. So, I will definitely say until next time, not until next week. You can follow us on Twitter at PrinnyCast, and you can contact us with email at PrinnyCast at PrinnyCast@gmail.com. There seem to be way too many ats in there. Yeah. But anyway, we'll see you all next time, dudes.
See you next time.
See you next time.